Alrighty, good morning, guys. Welcome back. Welcome. CPI, baby. CPI. Alrighty. This, I don't know if I like this daylight savings. I don't like waking up in the pitch black, man. I used to enjoy waking up to the sunrise. Now I'm waking up to darkness. I don't mind the staying light later, but waking up in the darkness ain't fun. Not for me. Morning, guys. Welcome back. Morning. Yeah, I guess Cali's, even worse. Buenos dias. Buenos dias. All right, guys. So yesterday, what did we get? We got pretty much exactly as we talked about. So there should be no surprises. There should be no, oh my God, why did that happen? We knew yesterday was potential of doing nothing, and that is exactly what we got. So we had a pre-CPI hangover, whatever you want to call it. It was a nothing day. NASDAQ went completely sideways, chopped the entire day. Tried my best to get, people away from the charts, and I hope that helped some of you. I hope that it, protected some of your capital instead of trying to push the envelope in a nothing NASDAQ market yesterday. So hopefully some advice from yesterday saved you because yesterday is just a total waste of a day. There's absolutely nothing that you should be feeling you missed out on. There should be nothing that you wish you caught. There should be nothing besides wishing that you didn't even show up. That's honestly that was the best thing to do yesterday. So really nice there. Sort of realization before CPI yesterday. And today it is CPI. So 8:30, we have that CPI number. 1 o'clock, we have that 10-year treasury. So we shall see how that, what that does on the market. Yeah, some crazy free agency move yesterday. I mean, I'm not mad at Saquon. I think that's great for Saquon. You can't be mad at him. But man, the Giants are just idiots. They're complete idiots. It's such a terrible organization right now. It's pretty embarrassing. It's sad. It's sad. So I think I hate the Giants this year coming up. I actually don't care at all. This might be the first year that I do not care about the Giants one bit, to be quite honest. The Rangers have my heart and soul right now. The New York Rangers. That is my team, man. I've always liked the Rangers a little bit more. I've always liked watching hockey a little bit more, but it is becoming exponentially growing. Brian Burns, yeah, great. Tiki Barber mad at him is so dumb. Yeah, that's such a dumb. That's so stupid. What is Saquon gonna stay on the Giants and waste away his entire career? I'm happy for Saquon. He needs to show what he can do because he's a really good running back. But behind a Swiss cheese offensive line, it's not gonna work. You can't run through a Swiss cheese offensive line, man. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully everyone's happy with their free agency picks last night because it was definitely moving. Who do I think won? Let's think. Who do I think won the free agency? I think Philly probably did pretty well on it. Wonder how Kirk does in the Falcons. That should be interesting. I think Rempe. Yeah. Rempe's a beast. I don't care, man. Take all the dirty shots you want on the Devils. It's fine with me. All right, let's get started, guys. Welcome back. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Some of you guys probably have no idea what I'm talking about, so let's just jump right into it. Press that like button, subscribe, and here we go. So today is, Packers got Josh Jacobs. Might be a little washed, but 8:30 CPI. That's our big event of the morning. So that is our first watch. We'll see if there's any movement off this CPI number. After that, 1 o'clock today, we have the 10-year bond auction. This should also be a pretty important bond auction. So we could get one move on, pre-market, another move at 1 o'clock. So again, a little bit of caution today with all this economic data. So first, we'll have that 8:30. We'll get that morning push or morning drop. We'll get obviously the morning open, and then we have 1 o'clock, the 10-year bond. So that's today. That's some stuff to be careful of. Tomorrow, you guys can see right here, 1 o'clock, we have the 30-year. Right, today's the 10-year. Tomorrow is the 30-year. After that, on Thursday, we have the PPI retail sales. This is our next major event. And then finally, to end the week, right, we have unemployment claims as well on Thursday, but to end the week, a little bit of consumer sentiment there at 10, but overall, a pretty light Friday, I'd say. So, getting pretty heavy with the economic data this week here, guys. Hey, it's never a bad idea to protect yourself during these weeks. Hold on, I got to sneeze. Excuse me. It's never a bad idea to protect yourself during these weeks, right? You're going to look back at this week and you're going to say, okay, pretty heavy economic data. Let me take it easy, right? Could be a lot of volatility on the market in the overnight session. Could get some random sort of pre-market moves. I don't need to expose myself as much as I don't need to expose myself as much this week with this economic data. I could protect myself. I could be careful, right? I could be aware of the outstanding risks, and I could just sort of lay low for the week. I think that's a good way to look at it this week. I took some trades yesterday. I made $200 yesterday. I kept it very small. I didn't trust much yesterday, and I'll continue to act that way until I feel that the market is actually in somewhat of a move. Because right now, the market is not moving in a direction. It's consolidating. It's waiting for this data. This is when you take the foot off the gas a little bit and protect yourself, right? These are important weeks in your trading career, right? It's not how much money you make, but how much money you can keep. And it's important to understand when the market is not in the risk on, right? Total risk on type of move. Right now, this week, it could be a little bit risk off. We could be a little bit cautious of economic data. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing out of the ordinary here. This is just another week where you have to be a little bit cautious due to economic data. So just understand that as you approach this week. Earnings calendar, I don't think there was much. Let me go ahead and pull it up real quick. Where the hell is my earnings calendar? There it is. Today, OnCloud reported pre-market. Manchester United reported pre-market. That's really it, man. Tomorrow, UiPath, Lennar Homes. It's pretty much over. Thursday, you got Adobe. But nothing too much here on the economic calendar. So let's just go ahead and get right into the futures, right into the levels, and prepare us for the CPI print. So once again, guys, if you are here early morning, if you're part of the first 10 minutes joining, if you guys could press that like button for me, subscribe to the channel. That helps a lot. Let's get it going. All right. So yesterday, NASDAQ did absolutely nothing. All the NASDAQ did yesterday was, this is your NASDAQ day yesterday, guys. So there should be no Ulta. Yeah, Ulta is on Thursday as well. Adobe Ulta. There should be no feelings of FOMO here yesterday, guys. This was your trading day, and If you stayed away, well done, right? This is not it. This is not it. This is not when money is made. Maybe you scalped a few highs and lows here and there, but it is definitely not the day like, let's say, Friday, right? A lot of money can be made here. A lot of money can be made here. A lot of money can be made here. Not that much money can be made here. So I like to trade and get aggressive on these days. I like to lay low on these days. And you could have anticipated this yesterday because of the CPI today, right? So something to keep in mind as you trade. On the short-term levels, right? Some of the levels that we're watching here before CPI. Number one is this 18,350 supply. We can see this 18,350, 18,350, and again in the pre-market here, this 18,350. I think this does date back. Yes, this does date back a little bit further. Let me go back a little bit and get you guys some more, just sort of prove this level is valid here. If you go to the hourly chart and you zoom out a little bit, you can see right here, right? 18,350, 350, 350, and we can see in the pre-market today, 18,350. So that's going to be a pretty important supply above, right? We can see we are under that level still, and this is a previous rejection from back here in mid-February, right? Mid-February, early February, and we can see a rejection coming in at that 18,350 this morning. So that's our first supply, right? Very clear, very consistent with previous rejection levels, and we can see it again coming in today. That's absolutely a first level to watch. If we zoom in a little bit more, we can see the next level above that is right here. Rejections, rejections, rejections. 18,420, we have rejections here, rejections here, rejections here on Friday. And if we do pop into that level, we have to be careful of rejections again. So 18,350, very clear level. 18,420, very clear level. Two very clear supplies to be watching above. I think the market can clear up and really get strong again over this level. All right, if we can get a move over the 18,420, if we can get a hold above this level, that is when I think you try for the highs again. Okay, so if you really want to get cleared up for upside, if you want a little bit of clear for takeoff type move, right, I think you want to get above the 18,420, and that's where I'd look to see if the market could be long again, right above this area. To the downside, you have the daily 20 SMA, which held very strong yesterday again, right? You can see it continues to maintain this market in some regard, right? You can see it continues to try to hold above this daily 20. So that is obviously first level to watch today, that 18,200 area. Below that, you have yesterday's lows right around this 18,150, which is, if I zoom out, which is also some previous hold levels as well, right? We can see general 18,150, 18,150, little 18,150 here. We could see 18,150 here, 18,150, 18,150. So a lot of reactions to the 18,150 demand below. Below that is sort of your extreme low at 1875, 1875, and that is really the must-hold level in my opinion. So if you get under 1875, which is this low and this low, that is where I think you can move to the downside further, back towards this 50 SMA at 18.7. So there's sort of like a minor and major channel here. The minor channel that's sort of setting up is this. This is sort of your minor channel for now. You can see the highs, right, and the lows sort of setting up, and you were stuck within that entire range yesterday. 18,150 to 18,350, a pretty clear minor channel here that's setting up. Above that, you have the 420, you have the 75. That's a little bit of a larger channel that's been setting up here. So overall, the market is consolidating, right? Waiting for another catalyst, waiting for the next move to materialize. And during that period, right, you just want to be a little bit cautious. So today, let's see what CPI does. But for now, I have 1875. I have 18,150, right? And then I have 18,350 and 18,420. Those are my levels that I'm watching as of now. All right? So we'll relook at this in, 15 minutes. and then we'll see if there's any clarity from the CPI move. QQQ, pretty much the exact same read, right? We can see yesterday we had a very strong hold of the 20. We had that 436 level step up very nicely. We held that level pretty much all day. Even though we held this level, we never quite got any type of real upside move off of it. We just pretty much did the maintain above that demand. So that's 436. I think that's an important level today. Under that, you have the 433.70, which is that gap fill level, right? Right here. Gap level. The reason I say that, once again, if I go to equities, if I turn off the extended hours, you can see under this 433.70 is a pretty major gap right here. You guys can see right here, you have a gap, right? This is a gap right there. That gap is from NVIDIA earnings. If CPI causes weakness today and we do fail under this 433.70, this could be where the short side really starts to come in to fill this upside gap from the NVIDIA earnings. This is something to continue to watch, right? Continue to maintain, an eye on to see if it does set up. I think this is something that could be a really good opportunity to the downside if we fall below this level. That's a big if, but that is definitely something to watch, and we could definitely see some weakness under that level. Let's turn back on the extended hours, and let's get into the levels that we need to watch as supply above. So above, if we zoom in on this 15, above this 442 looks very difficult, right? 442, 442, 442, 442, and 442. We have some very clear reactions stepping in at the 442 supply. So below 442, right, this could still be a rejection. If you get above 442, that's where I think you can get this QQQ, get this NASDAQ to move higher. So I think that's your line in the sand right now for upside is 442. And I think your major line in the sand for downside is below that 433.70. This is sort of that channel that I'm watching to see if we can get above or if we break below, right? Until then, I think the NASDAQ, the QQQ, can stay relatively sideways within the 433 and 442 channel that we're sitting on. All right? Let's see what the CPI does for us today. All right. ES, the S&P 500, a little bit stronger than the NASDAQ yesterday. The key level that held, once again, was 5150. You guys can see right here. 5150. That was our demand stepping into yesterday. That was our demand we were watching yesterday, and we held it once again. We have 5150, some 5150s right here, right here, right here, right here. And again yesterday, as we moved lower into it, we found that demand. So I don't think that the ES really gets weak until at least a 5150 break, but I think the major level is 5120. All right, we can see 5120, 5120, 5120, 5120. So that 5120, that 5150 are your downside demands to watch right here and right here. Okay? To the upside, it's a little bit of this 5200, a little bit. It's sort of creeping above it right now, but we can see some 5200 previous rejections here. We see 5200 here. We saw 5200 late day yesterday. We got a little bit above it, a little bit below it. I think you're sort of just trying to figure out, it's sort of just consolidating around this 52. Let me go to the 30-minute chart. You guys can see right here. 5200 on the ES are some previous lows, some previous highs, and you can see we're sort of just dancing around that this morning. So 5200, key level to watch here. If we can hold above this level today, I think you push towards that 5220. 5220, 5220, 5220. Okay? So I have 5220, I have 5200, and then to the downside, I have 5150, I have the 20 SMA, and I have 5120. Right there. I know you can't see that. Let me move this over. Shrink it a little bit. Right there. Okay? 5120, 5150, 5200, 5220. Those are my major levels here. That's what I'll be watching today. And obviously, we'll reassess this post-CPI. SPY. Very key hold over 512 right now on the SPY, right? If CPI wasn't in 10 minutes, I would say this looks like a very, very strong technical reason to look for upside today. We'll have to see if the CPI confirms that. But for now, you can see this 512 level on the SPY, we are holding back above. So that's very key. Look to see what happens at 512 today on the SPY. If we hold above 512 post-CPI, then I think this market will try to maintain to the upside. The upside level above that we need to watch out for is 514. We can see right there very clearly. 514, 514, 514. So we have a very clear 514 supply above. If we get above that, I like the upside even more. I do like also, though, this 512 hold that's coming in right now. If we break under 512 and we reject 512 today, I'd assume we trade back to our 508.50. This was the level we talked about yesterday on the SPY. That 508.50 demand, that held really, really well yesterday. Let's go to this larger term chart. You can see 508.50, 508.50, 508.50, and again yesterday we held it perfectly. So that's a big demand below this 508.50. That's going to be a hold level to watch. Below that, I think you have the 507. Below that, this is really your last demand down here at 505. Right, you see this, 505, 505, 505, 505. That's a big level down there at 505. All right, but for now, 512's holding. That's pretty key right now. This is going to be something we have to see whether this holds or breaks here today. I think that's probably your most important level of just today. In the short term, I think 512 is your really important level to watch here. There's previous rejections here. Previous attempt of a hold there on Friday, previous holds here from a few weeks back, and this is a level that should really be in focus today at 512. IWM, let's actually use the Russell Futures. Let's zoom out. Let's go to the 1 hour. Yeah, the IWM still struggling to hold above that 21.25. We can see that right here. A bunch of rejections at this 21.25. For now, it looks like it's trying to hold above some of these levels. This 2090, 2087. It looks like it's trying to maintain above that. You can see right here. You have, let me zoom out a little bit. You have previous highs, some previous highs, some previous highs that seem to be trying to turn into a new low, right? Right here, 2090, and then above 2025. Little bit of a consolidation range for the last few days. Do we get a break? Do we get a break up or break down above this zone on the Russell? The thing to be careful of here is if the Russell does break this 2090, just be aware of that daily 20 SMA below. Okay? Dow Jones, Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, man. Indiana Jones. I like the Indiana Jones the best. The Dow did nothing yesterday. I have nothing new to report to you. All it did was hold above the 50 and stay below the 20. That's pretty much it. We held above that 50 on the pullback at that 38,890, 38,880, and we continue to see some pretty crazy and nasty wicks above here in that 39.3, 39.4 area. Dow, pretty much a consolidation. Could it be a little bit of a flag here? Yeah, I think so. Right? Could we just be sort of consolidating lower for an eventual push here on the Dow Jones? Very possible. I think you need to hold this 50 SMA here. This looks to be the major hold on the Dow right there. Right at that 50 SMA, right at that 38,880. All right. So we got 5 minutes before CPI. Let me go ahead and pull up some CPI charts here. We'll pull this up real quick. You guys can see CPI year over year. The actual of the last reading was 3.1. The forecast was 2.9. The forecast has increased, right? So the forecast has slightly increased versus the previous forecast. So something to notice there. It is forecasted to be higher. than the previous. It's forecasted to be the same as the previous reading, okay? So that's something to be aware of, right? We'll go ahead and get updated numbers here. We'll get this number populated here in about 5 minutes, so we'll keep an eye on that. Let's go over to the we'll go over to the dollar. Take a quick look at what the dollar is doing this morning. Dollar has dropped last week. Dollar this morning, really not doing much. TNX, 10-year, a little bit of a gap down this morning, but pretty flat there. It's up in the 4s still. So we'll keep an eye on that TNX post-CPI. All right. Wow, 2,800 people. Hello, everyone. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the stream, the 2,800 people. We're going to chill here for just a second. I don't think there's any real reason to get into the stocks yet before CPI. But if you could press that like button for me. If you guys are here waiting on the CPI numbers, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We do this every single morning at 8 a.m. We're just going to chill for... do I want to chill for 4 minutes or do I want to get into something? What can we get into here? Let's see. Run the ad? Nah, I won't run the ad. It's all good. I'll hold off for let's go ahead and pull up those the Treasury auction calendar here, just to get an eye on these. So today is March 12th, and we can see right here, March 12th is the 10-year. So you can see right here, 10-year note, that is today. The auction date is today, March 12th. Tomorrow is the 30-year, and that is March 13th. So two pretty big bond auctions the next 2 days. Today, 10-year, tomorrow, 30-year. Okay? So be aware of that. Merch. Yeah, buy some merch. Buy some merch. We got some Options Insider hoodies left. Yeah, ARM, we could talk about that real quick. The lockup period is ending today. You can see actually a little bit of an excitement move here in the pre-market. Lockup period is ending today on ARM. This should be a watch. If ARM gets back over, I would say this 135, I really think there could be something to watch here. But that breakdown under 135 is either a fake breakdown, right? This could be sort of a fake breakdown yesterday, and we get that squeeze on the lockup period today, or this thing just sort of dives. I don't think it's as easy as lockup period's coming, short the stock, right? I don't think it's going to be that easy. That's just too easy, in my opinion, to anticipate. So I'm sort of expecting the opposite, but we'll see. We'll see what it does here at this 135. You can see a little bit of excitement here in the pre-market right now. I don't know exactly what time, maybe it's just at market open that the lockup period, that things can start to trade without lockup. That's probably what it is, right? At open, you get the insiders get the ability to sell shares. A lockup period is after a stock IPOs, right? Sometimes they will have a lockup period so that insiders cannot dump the shares when it first IPOs. So that's what ARM did on IPO. There was a lockup period so that early investors can't just dump their shares when the IPO releases. And so that lockup period ends today. So there's rumor around the street that SoftBank, who owns a very large portion of shares on ARM, could just sort of dump their shares as they're up a lot of money on it. It's all just sort of hearsay, so we'll see what the reaction is today. I think that's what we really want to do. All right, so we got 20 seconds till CPI here. Let's go to the NASDAQ futures. Let's go to the SPY. Let's just look at that SPY. Let's watch that 512 level here, and then we'll get those CPI numbers today in just a few moments. Okay, it looks like first reaction is some nice downside. Nice downside. All right. We'll see if it sticks. Sometimes you get those moves and you get those big pops back higher. I am holding Tesla puts overnight, so I hope that this is a move that sticks, at least for my Tesla put idea. I am continuing to hold Tesla puts, as you guys know that, if you are part of the group. So you can see 5,200 did reject. We got a quick reaction to the downside. Doesn't look like it's holding yet. It looks like it could definitely bounce back still, right? I don't see too solid of a drop yet. It looks like a little knee-jerk reaction to the downside. But let's see if that move to the downside does stick. Let me get the numbers here. And it was higher than anticipated. So here's your CPI number, guys. I'll put this on the left side as you can watch the price action on the right. 3.2. 3.2 versus 3.1. So incremental upside on the CPI number. The concern, right, is that the concern here is that if CPI starts to heat up again, that the rate cuts will maybe not be coming as quickly as anticipated. You can see this market is already bouncing back. And I think it's probably about to flip very green here in a second. That's what it's starting to look like. We'll see. The thing that I'm curious is that I don't think we are going to see anything lower than 3% on CPI. I believe this is a new standard. That's at least my personal opinion. I don't expect like CPI to drop down into like what it was here in 2021. 1%, 2%, maybe. Right? But it feels like we're sort of stuck in that 3. And I think that could just become the new standard. We'll see, right? If the concern overall is, hey, if we start cutting rates, does this start to grind back higher, right? Does CPI start to creep back higher again if we start cutting rates? That's sort of the concern, I think, for the Federal Reserve. That's why it really hasn't happened yet. And, yeah. But I don't think, right, yeah, we are flipping green. So a very aggressive flip back to the green. You could sort of see it in the price action, right? You could sort of see it in the price action. You saw it drop, but didn't really have continuation. And here is your flip back to green. So Tesla puts for me, probably don't look too good today. So I would assume, we'll see, man. That's a pretty crazy candle here in the pre-market, but I don't think you're going to see that downside come in now after seeing that flip. I don't think a 3% CPI is that bad of a read. I just sort of feel like it's the normal, it's the norm, right? I don't think a 3% CPI number is going to really panic the market much. So you can see market dropped, market maintained, pretty much still in the same channel. And yeah, we'll see if we can get some action today off of it. Really, all we want is some action, right? We want action. Action, we want action. So, all right, we'll keep an eye on this, but for now, market's fine. Market's fine with it. Seems to be holding. Is ARM ripping? Yeah. This is what I was sort of thinking about. So this is definitely something to watch today. If ARM can reclaim that 135 today, this could be something to really watch, right? There's going to be some hype, some catalyst behind this stock today. So let's keep an eye on that 135 on ARM. All right. Tesla. So I'm holding 2 contracts of Tesla puts. I had a nice trade on it yesterday. That was about the only thing I got going yesterday. I faded. I did a little pop and fade type trade, which was really nice. I just said, you know what? I'm going to hold a few. It's really nothing that's going to affect me, and I'll see if I can catch that downside continuation. But we'll see, right? Markets are maintaining pretty strong. Tesla 180, I think, is your key level today, guys. If you want to watch Tesla today, I would, again, be very careful trading Tesla. But 180, I think, is your main level to watch here. That is going to be the level that you need to break and hold above. If you can break and hold above 180, then I believe you will see that upside come in again. Above 180, I think you pop towards that 184 again. So you have 180, you have 184. Above 184 is where I think Tesla gets a little bit more interesting for upside. Right? If you can get above 184, then I think you could get a little bit of a cleaner upside move on Tesla. But for now, it seems like Tesla's just happy to live sort of down in this zone, right? Tesla's just sort of trading in this zone between this 184 supply, right, and pretty much this 175 demand. So I would be careful trading it in here if you're going to. Keep it very light. I kept it very light on Tesla yesterday. I wanted to try the pop and fade, which was, continues to be a really good trade on Tesla, and it was again yesterday. Today, let's keep an eye on that pop and fade idea again, right? Let's keep an eye on that pop and fade idea again at that 184. And then let's be watching that 180 level. I think 180, very important here today on Tesla. NVIDIA. Is this a buying opportunity on NVIDIA? It's very possible, right? Does NVIDIA return to glory after this aggressive pullback from Friday of last week? I like the consolidation, right? I like the consolidation. You guys can see right here over the last few days, really just yesterday, I think NVIDIA did a pretty clean consolidation move above that 850 demand, right? Very nice consolidation going on here. And I wouldn't trade longs yet on NVIDIA up into 900. I would want to see NVIDIA break out of this consolidation range. If NVIDIA can break out of this consolidation range, I think you can really get a strong move, right? So I would want to see this move over 900. Over 900, I think is fantastic. If you can get a break of a consolidation range over 900, that's where I really think NVIDIA starts to get going again. So I'm personally going to stay pretty silent on NVIDIA here between this 50-point range. It's a pretty clear 50-point range. If I delete that level, it is very clear here between this 850 demand, right, and this 900 supply. So I think you can lay low on NVIDIA in between this zone. But if NVIDIA can get over 900 today, guys, I would absolutely be watching this, okay? This could be a consolidation for more upside. Buyers stepping in, consuming shares here, sort of consolidating above that 850, above 900. I think it gets very interesting. I would watch 900 today on NVIDIA very closely, okay? Very closely. If you could get above that, we're definitely looking to trade that today. Of course, also be careful of the 900 rejections, which are still possible, but that is going to be your level to watch today. 900 on NVIDIA. AMD. A little bit of upside on AMD here. I think the key level here on AMD is around this 204. If we go to the 15-minute chart. So you guys can see right here, 204 rejections yesterday. I think AMD needs to get over that 204. So if you are looking at AMD today, I would watch the 204 level. I think that's big. Above 204, I think you have this 209. Okay? 209, 204. Right, 209, 209. So a little bit of upside here. Nothing that's broken anything key, which is sort of the same concept as NVIDIA here today, guys, right? This is a little bit of a pop on NVIDIA today, but it is an inside move still, right? We are still inside this consolidation. You guys can see that, right? So you can't get too excited about, short-term candles inside of a larger range, right? We have to protect ourselves. So really, right, you need this move or you need this move to really get excited about what's going on in this market. As of right now on NVIDIA, it's a good little pop because of that CPI reaction, but it has not got anywhere close to that major demand low and major supply high. All right, so you have to be cautious of your trades within those channels. This is very similar for AMD. All right, AMD has a nice clear consolidation channel here. Yesterday's sort of inside day. Right? You're still within that range. So you can't get that excited and worked up about whether this was a red candle or a green candle, whether this was a straight down red candle or a straight up green candle. You really can't get that excited about it if it is below even just the prior day range, right? We are still below 204 and we are still above 196.50. Okay? So it's still just trusting these levels. If you are continuing to consolidate in this range. All right. Quick look at ARM. Yep, you got your push into 135, right? That's your big level. You can see you're getting some reactions at that 135. That is without a doubt your big level here today on ARM, guys. 135 is your level to watch. That is also the 20 SMA here. That is some previous major support that has broken down below, right? So we need to see a break and hold over, I believe, 135 to get a real move here on ARM, okay? TSM, definitely an interesting watch here, guys. If you want to see if TSM, if this is a pullback opportunity, if the market stays strong today, I would be eyeing this TSM 140. I would personally want TSM back to this 134, right, for a nice long opportunity here. Back to this 134 for another long, but it could just be this 140, right? You can see on the 1 hour chart, we are definitely holding above this previous high, right? 140, 140, and look at yesterday's action and look at the little gap up that's happening today. So I would be watching this TSM, right? I'd be seeing, oh, is there a potential? Oh man, it just came, that's like pure Italian New York that just came out of me. Oh, oh, is this 140 going to hold? Yeah. So I would watch that 140. That's going to be a big level. That would be the major level to watch today. Yeah, you never buy pre-market pumps. You never get too excited about pre-market pumps. You just trust these levels. For now, the SPY is over 512, so I do like that. And the SPY looks to be pushing, over this 514 as well. So it's maintaining pretty strong here. So if you do maintain over this 514 today, there is a reason to look for that upside continuation. QQQ, however, is sort of interesting, right? You're still a little iffy on the tech market here into this 442, right? But SPY much stronger. SPY much stronger. Is it financials are strong? It's probably helping it quite a bit. All right, let's continue. So we went over AMD, we went over NVIDIA, we went over TSM, we went over ARM. We can go over SMCI. SMCI still holding that 1080. This is a very big hold, right? Let's go back to the 30-minute. Actually, no, let's go to the 4-hour. Here's why 1080 is such a big hold, and it's all the way back on the 4-hour chart. Right? Look at this, 1080, and look at the hold that's coming in at 1080. So if SMCI maintains itself over 1080, it is consolidating over that previous 4-hour high, and that is definitely what it's been doing, right, for now. You can see right here, 1080, 1080, right, and it's still holding above it. So above 1080 is bullish on SMCI. You do have to still be careful of the upside supply at 1155, 1160, right? That's very clear. We don't want to be too aggressively long into that. I'm actually going to move that up to 1160 because I want to be safe there up into this double top high here. So you still want to be careful longing it into this level. This could still absolutely be a rejection spot. But I would say overall, when we zoom out, it is a bullish thing that SMCI is holding over 1080. So I would not short SMCI if it's over 1080. That's going to be a very key level hold. Let's go to Meta. So Meta, yesterday, a little bit of a breakdown yesterday on Meta, right? A little bit of a uptrend break. We were sort of trending higher. That's not right. We were sort of trending higher, sort of moving higher. And yesterday, we sort of got a trend break, right? We got a little bit of a trend break on Meta there. So just a little bit concerning, I'd say. Something to be a little bit careful of. We're pushing up into that 494 again, which is slightly rejecting. That was one of the levels we had on our charts, that 494. We're slightly rejecting that. I believe it's more like the 490 level today. Let me go ahead and get to the 4-hour chart. So if we look at this 4-hour chart, I think this 490 level is very important, and I would see if we hold above it today. If we hold back above 490, then we might be able to sort of grind this move back higher. The 20 SMA is where we pulled back to and where we held. That is, again, very important. The 20 SMA continues to sort of be that pullback level and that maintain area. So you can see Meta maintained this 20 SMA and this sort of 480 demand very nice yesterday. So what I would look for today is, okay, does Meta have the strength to maintain over previous day highs? Does it maintain over this 490 level? If Meta can maintain over 490, right, if it can turn yesterday's highs into a new support today, I think you can get that move back higher, probably back up into that 500, 505 area. But it is all about whether Meta can maintain above the previous day high. I think that's very important today, and I'd be very careful shorting Meta into this daily 20. If Meta gets under 480, that's where I think you can catch the short again, okay? Under 480, I think that's where you can look for that short side, maybe back down towards this 550 or 450. But right now, you can see that 480 and that 20 SMA are holding very nicely. Yeah, we can go to MU real quick. MU is doing a really nice hold, man, right? Look at this MU hold. This is very clean, right? Look at this. Previous highs, lows, and look at that hold yesterday. So highs, lows, lows. That's still a very bullish structure on MU. Very, very bullish structure still on MU above that 93. So MU, if you want to long MU, I think you either need to be long here or you need to be long above 98. You don't want to be long here. You don't want to be long in random spots here. You want to be long at this demand low or above this supply high. So what I would look for today, if you think MU continues higher, is I would look for a hold above that 98. If MU can hold above 98, I think you will get your next upside move. Okay? As long as it's above 93, it remains in bullish structure. Let's go to Apple real quick. Apple has been doing sort of the maintain dance, right? It's sort of just been maintaining at this 170, this major low around this 170. You guys can see it's been doing a pretty good job of just sort of maintaining that area. I still don't like the trade on Apple. I still don't like the sort of intraday volatility to really get a quality trade here. So I'm not going to be an intraday trader of Apple. But hey, if you like Apple long term, maybe some shares at 170 is worth a small shot, right? A little bit of dollar cost averaging into Apple around that 170 looks to be a level that's trying to hold, but I still just don't see the intraday action that's worth me getting involved in option contracts. We can go to Coin real quick. Coin did a really nice pullback to our gap fill level yesterday. If you guys remember, we were talking about that 260 gap fill level. Looks like it's a little bit lower. Yeah, it was like around this 254. Let me go ahead and zoom out real quick. Let me make sure of that level real quick. Yeah, it is sort of that 254, isn't it? So if we go to the 15, we can see 254 sort of holding on, some consolidation from that Friday. This is where that gap started, around that 254. So yeah, Coinbase still holding, right? The key level that it needs to hold. Maybe a little bit of a flag here, right? A little bit of a downtrend that could break if Coinbase can maintain over 254. Right? That's a pretty nice hold that stepped in yesterday. You can see right there. We continue to hold it. If you hold above that 254, there is a chance of that next move to the upside. If you break under that 254, you probably could move back down to this 240 demand, which could be, again, a really nice long opportunity, right? Coinbase has still maintained a very good structure to the upside. All right, look at this structure on the upside on Coin. Highs, lows, lows, holding again. All right, so I would watch 254. I would watch 240. Those are my two downside levels I'd watch for potential dip buying opportunities. Bitcoin pretty much stuck around that 72K. Let's go to Netflix. Netflix still sort of doing the maintain as well on a 4-hour bullish structure. All right, you can see right here. This is 4 hour. You can see you're still structuring to the upside on Netflix. And I would say if Netflix can maintain above that 20, right, you could be sort of consolidating for the next upside move. It's very possible here. So I like this Netflix. I like that 592 level. I like that we held that daily 20. I would just be careful of the 615 level above. That would be my only caution to any long side trades, would be the 615 level above. All right, you are still consolidating below that supply. All right, previous lows, heavy supply there on Friday of last week. So I would still be concerned of that 615 level on Netflix. If I was going to long Netflix, it would either be here or above 615. Right? I'm not going to long Netflix in the middle of the twilight zone. Okay? I am going to either long it if it pulls back to that 592 or if it can get above this supply at 615. Yeah, ARM 135 is a heavy level, man. Look at that. More sellers stepping up at 135. Microsoft is nothing, guys. We got to stop asking me about Microsoft if it's not doing anything, okay? This is nothing. Good luck. I don't know what to tell you. It's stuck in the middle of a very, very defined range. 416 to 398. Amazon, pretty solid hold here on Amazon at this 171, right? So these pullbacks are still in structure, right? They're still not breaking anything important. So look at this, right? Amazon, previous highs into new lows, right? Previous highs into new double bottom lows. So the key level here on Amazon is now 171, right? You have to hold 171. If Amazon breaks under 171, then you get a move lower into this 167. 167, 171, very clear demand levels below, and we continue to hold toward that upside structure. You had this, and now you have this. You have a new low forming above a previous high. So really nice there still on Amazon, but here's my concern on Amazon. I really don't like how tough it's been for Amazon to hold these moves, right? We can see this 176, rejections, tried to hold, failed back under. And so I would personally be careful. If you are going to long Amazon down here, I would just be careful of this 176. This looks a little bit heavy up here at 176. Is Dogecoin going to pop today? I hope that's a troll, man. I hope it is. Let's go to Google real quick, and then we'll go to Boeing. Google, very big level approaching here on Google. Look at this level on Google. Look at this 140, and you are sitting right at it. 140 and that daily 20 SMA. This is going to be major here on Google today. Does it get over it and really get that squeeze, or does Google start to reject here again for another downside move? Okay. Yeah, Boeing is in trouble. You guys saw that news about the whistleblower found dead in his truck. I'll probably get banned on YouTube for saying that. But, man, New Zealand sieges and Boeing sent in black box after incident. What happened with a New Zealand? Another plane? Flight accident injured more than... Wow, man. Damn. I don't know, man. I'm not here to make up conspiracy theories, but Boeing planes are it's something's going on, man. Something is going on. There has been problem after problem after problem. And yeah. This could continue. This could continue. Next really strong demand is probably not until like 176, maybe a little bit at like 180, but I don't know, man. There's been some pretty crazy nonstop problems with these Boeing planes. I would say it stays under pressure. I would say it looks like it's going to stay under pressure. And maybe we don't think too much into this one. Right? Maybe we don't overthink this and just continue to look short, right? Sometimes the best bet is to not overthink plays and continue to go short off this weakness. So I would say my first level here is 191. 191. See if Boeing can stay under that 191 today. If Boeing stays under 191, I think the downside continues. And honestly, I would treat this like Tesla. Pops into fades, right? Any pop into fades is what I would continue to think for Boeing here. If you get a pop into like this 193, yesterday's sort of rejection points, I'd look for fades. I would look for pops and fades to see if this thing just continues to stay weak. But yeah, if Boeing stays under 191, there could be downside pressure again. Crazy. All right, guys, let's go back to the NASDAQ real quick. So you are getting some drama here. You are getting some drama here, right? On the futures, on the NASDAQ. Look at this, right? There's the drama still there. Okay, so nothing has been cleared up, right? The NASDAQ has rejected our 18,350. The NASDAQ not even got close to our 420 level, right? Look at this, 420, 420. It did not get close, and it had drama at 350. ES, a lot of drama up there at the 5220 we had, right? This is the exact level we pointed out. 5220, 5220. Look at the 5220 reaction. So you can see it right there, right? Right in front of your eyes. The level that we had marked out before CPI, the exact level has reacted, okay? So again, this is why technical levels, in my opinion, are, if you can read them right, it can be very powerful in your trading. You just saw the exact level that we talked about at 5220 turn into a rejection point. So today, you better be watching that 5220. You better not be long right into that level. If you start entering SPY longs right here because you think the market's going to continue higher, right, and this thing does this, you have no one to blame but yourself, okay, because you're not watching technical levels. That is a perfect technical level to be watching today. SPY rejected right at that 4. Let's go ahead and adjust this one because it went a little bit above it. So I think we do adjust this to around that 515. So I say we keep that at 515. Right, we can see 515 here, 515 here, and 515. So we have no excuses to be long into 515 today. That's definitely a clear level. And then our QQQ 442, right? Our QQQ 442, 442. That's a very clear level there today as well. All right, guys. This does not mean, okay, I will leave you with this, okay? I will leave you with this, just so I clear up anyone that thinks I have a bias today. Just because we rejected here does not mean we short into the 436 level, okay? All right? Just because you're seeing rejections here at our supply level does not mean that you start to short into demand today. It looks like today might just do the exact same thing as yesterday at this point, right? You have 442 rejections, and you're still above 336. You are still in this channel, guys, okay? Walk into the day and understand that you are still in a channel. You do not short into demand. You do not long into supply. All right. That's all I got. If you guys could, press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. If you guys are new here, get your morning levels every morning here on the live stream, morning analysis. All you got to do is wake up, man. That's all you got to do. If you're serious about it, you should be able to wake up and prepare yourself every single morning. So hopefully you come here and do that. If not, it's all good. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.